because PrideFGC had closed the book. Let me get rid of my gospel music. So PrideFGC had closed the book on their Hall of Fame for this year. Because I wanted to originally do this at the time of like a week ago, like 2 weeks ago, and I just was not able to. But from what's here, that's from 2025. This is 2025, 2026. There's me. There's some of the homies in Tekken. Some of the ones in the mystery bracket for Brazen, Pokemon Showdown, Smoking, Phantoms, Temigru, Grand Blue, Central Fiction, Street Fighter, the movie, the game, Waku Waku 7, Rivals of Ether, 2XKO, Skullgrav, Digimon Rumble Arena. If I can find out how to get a hold of that, I really wanted to try and be a part of the Rumble Arena. That could have been another one, possibly. Squat Vermilion in the Street Fighter 6. Digimon Action Bingo. Melty Blood. That one still hurts. Star underscore. And then the final bracket with Guilty Gear Strive, right? So you guys are aware that when I made that run, I only got one ticket back out of the 8 tickets I contested for, right? And today is going to be a sense of acknowledgement in the bigger picture, in striving for this. This one was the only one we were able to bring back that night. The other one that's here is the one that came for that same weekend in a different location for MK11. Because I know PrideFGC doesn't host MK anymore, or not right now, since there isn't a designated NetherRealms host in order to host for it. But I was able to successfully fight for a top 8 ticket this year for Mortal Kombat 11, which was the first time I was able to get a Mortal Kombat 11 ticket in 3 years, approximately 3.5 years, because it was about the time when MK1 first was like getting here, and a lot of the MK1 tournaments died off, and Poseidon's thing here for the Shirai Ryu was one of the ones that eluded me for like the longest time. And so I'm very happy and blessed that I was able to accumulate this ticket. This will still be accredited now. It just won't be accredited later because it wasn't a part of the original batch for things here for PrideFGC, right? And then this is my ticket in the Grand Blue database that I was also given by the Grand Blue people. So I'm really happy I have this. This is like one of the most beautiful tickets I've seen in my whole life. It's not a ticket for success, but it tells me that I've played enough over the years in the Grand Blue circuit to where I actually have my own ID card for a Skyfarer card. And this is really nice. I love this. because it gives my general main, because I was a Zeta main for all these years until I gave her up, and then I shifted to being a Catalina, and then I've always had Gran in the back pocket because Gran. So I like this. I really like this. So let me start. So for all you guys that are coming in, I want to sit and welcome you guys in, online warriors all across the realms. I bring us together again as I share a trial of struggle and accomplishment, some lacking greatness, and the effort to self-care. Everyone played a part in our accumulations this year, and everyone and every step mattered in the contest of the bigger picture. The mind's eye is staying focused on our goals. Let me start this by giving you a vision into my third eye. My endgame strategy was emphasizing discipline, sacrifice, and the struggle balancing life, work, and family while maintaining a high-level competitive composure and play and presentation across multiple fighting games. All of this builds the foundation of what I furthered today for us. Think about a builder standing in an empty field. Before the first brick is laid, they already see the finished building. Before a musician performs a song, they hear it in their mind. Hey, Moon, welcome in. You're just in time. I just started my speech. You have a good one ahead. Before musicians performs a song, they hear it in their mind. Before the leader inspires change, they imagine a better future. Making a difference works the same way. It begins with the vision. You have to see what could be before you can help create what will be. This year, I went to achieve across 8 titles compared to the preceding year, only having really practiced 4 of that batch of entries. Dragon Ball FighterZ, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Melty Blood Lumina, Under Night 2, 2XKO, Guilty Gear Strive, Guilty Gear Plus R, and Tekken 8. The way the event was organized this year really threw off a lot of synchronity from the noted prior year's scheduling blocks. From the time start on Friday to the wrap-up time evening, and the overlap of 2 to 3 different events, launching all at the same time with no real breathing time, messed up a lot of proper scheduling because of how the panels were set. Everyone's individual hosting availability must have just been super fucked on so many different levels for it to cook the available registration and people paying attention to their paid availability both. Only having retrieved 1 top 8 ticket of the bunch, the strongest performance here was held by Dragon Ball FighterZ and then Melty Blood. The general weakest performance of the lot was Uni 2 or Tekken 8 or both. The newest item here being 2XKO and my least traveled tag fighter here in the pool being also 2XKO. My mechanics, familiarity, and mastery were tested this whole event, and my 3 months of lengthy training set aside in which to diversify preparation and muscle memory for this event. All the actions and results from the major are my own rewards and failures both, balancing this out with caring for my mom now and work and the bracket management and the occasional Metafy coaching in the server to my clients and my students both. I'm aware I came up vastly short this year in only acquiring the 1 ticket. This is short of the sell quota that I needed. I will not apologize because I know I fought the very best I could on all those fronts to get where I could in my routing. I'm gonna go over fighters and then Lumina, 2XKO, Union, kind of go down the ladder, and then the rest of them I just kind of winged from character choice change up in the matchup. Hang on one sec. Okay. For Dragon Ball fighters, my usual tributes to Nakiel, Subtitley Snow, and Flintheart remain intact this year once more. Additionally, that day, I am owing a piece of this run to Silence and student DBFZ both in helping me to return my psyche back to what's important after my tilt from the start of the top 8, losing to a flat-out masher that won everything up to this point, mashing on plus frames or Oki every rotation. I was angry as all hell about that decision that was called against me. They reminded me, Silence and Student both reminded me that I want to keep the focus on fun and perspective. And in there, to be creative in my ascension. We spent a good chunk of time talking about the characters that I'm playing and that I generally use in our discussion about the fusion shells I'm using that gave me a couple of ideas to try out on the fly since I didn't apply them the first time when I was mad about. And then thinking about the bigger picture on the battlefield that I was condensing from anger, not from clarity. Getting that top 3 and the grand finals contest standoff were helped greatly from that clarity because the constant creativity is where success or the play advancement was always coming from, right? If I didn't see that veil, then I likely could have lost the endgame contest straight out to simple things I was already conditioned to react to and not recollect here from this, right? Could it have been better? Did I commit my time to it? For sure. I prepared for every brain dead matchup in the book that players would try when you have nothing to lose or you want to match without consequence. Titan Tower personally prepared me for my own endgame, and I can't thank them enough for that. Mugiwara, Monday, Hallelujah, Ghost Heads, Toji, and Noah Black. Thank you, you guys. While I didn't get my championship, I'm happy knowing that I'm championship material because of you guys. I can't thank you enough for helping me almost get my title. And to some of the older heads, the hecklers, and the Dragon Ball LGBT in chat, I also have these words for you. Don't think I haven't forgot about you. I keep my receipts. I won't let you discredit my success. I showed myself exactly how to level up to resume keeping up, despite the price to pay to keep pushing it to getting it more expensive every year to do so. My best work this year was telling half the peanut gallery and the DBFZ hecklers talking down to me in chat both to shove it straight up their ass. If they all wanted it that badly, instead of shitting on me or Lucky because it's an easy target, you would have been here. You would have been here with everybody else to steal the opportunity from me or Lucky instead of criticizing us both or just embracing her altogether just because. Anybody here could invite you to the event for free. You don't have to pay for shit, including me. I have the number 6 spot global on the Trevor Project leaderboard in most donations this year at $110.53. I was sitting literally with 16 extra tickets. 16 extra tickets this year, and no one wanted to come with me. I kept receipts for every chat I asked to help grow the turnout for them, and also risk inviting ops into my own preset playgrounds. I want the smoke in order to be able to improve, in order to know that I'm worthy of the contest I'm going to fight for. And if that means inviting people that are going to take it from me, then yes, I will also do that, because I also like fighting people that can help me grow as long as there's something to learn from them, including dumbasses like you sometimes. I invited a couple people last year into the brackets on my behalf that felt strongly like I wouldn't do anything just because they were there, and I still kicked their ass in said bracket exactly like I said I would for my ticket contest. They didn't say shit to me ever since, and all I wanted was to say just GG's because they were a worthy adversary. It was a good match. I'm not going to be on my shit all the time. I just have to deal with people's shit all the time. And instead of taking that same offer that any of those hecklers could have done, now I simply took it from each and every one of you, trying to feel so entitled to something that you never respectfully earned. I walked right into my own endgame. I walked right into that match against Lucky, scared but open-minded to the results, because I don't know what I'm going to do to win. I don't know the type of person I'm going to become in order to win this shit. But I'll find out what kind of player I am as I adapt and shake nerves going through it. Contesting a grand finals endgame isn't something that happens every day. And so it's something that is almost intimidating in its own right. And so I try to embrace these when they happen. Titan's Tower embraced the chance of me being champion when it was on the table way faster than any of all of you chose to spit on my ticket run in an accepted condescension. And that's okay. They never turned their back on me, and I never turned my back on my people and my friends. It's how we support each other's goals. Should take a note. It's the name of the game. Despite your abhorring my contest or complicated matters, I will still support a lot of you and your friends because they accept everyone here. It's just you don't accept everyone accepting everyone here. And you watch for those. There's always a critic thinking of me, so thank you for giving me the energy to keep going. It's one of those times where I actually appreciate knowing that my critics are very condescending of me. Next is Melty Blood Lumina. With Melty Blood, I sought to thank Shinoa again, as well as King of Ninjas 789, for a decently full last-second training session to readapt to the game's mechanics after shifting from Tekken and some last-minute Grand Blue practice. Shifting gears from game to game with different toolkits affects muscle memory really hard, so immediate sets are key for core adjustment. The same as playing on a set platform to adjust the pending frame delay or a lack of it on the other platform, like if I have to do platform switching between PC and console sometimes. With Melty Blood, could it have been better? For sure. I prepared for every matchup but the one matchup because I figured I wouldn't see him after the bracket shift, and that very matchup, Michael Roa, became the very issue that cost me my top 8 closeout at the finish line because of the bracket shift close to the end. So I have to hold that ill preparation. Did I commit all my time to it? None, actually. All of it was just base muscle memory for the catch-up game. I played enough Melty to know how I was able to approach and execute without needing to rely on any type of existential Mickey or skip neutral or BS factors that made it difficult. Shoot that bot. That made it difficult for me to execute my moves. It's not a Mickey invoking game. It just has Mickey in there to some degree, depending upon how much you want to work for it or get out of it. There's not a lot of skip neutral, so it's all base anime FGC fundamentals that you feel as rewarding as it should for knowing a matchup. So in terms of like autopilot devotion, I think Melty Blood was like probably the most successful of the 8 simply because of that, and I didn't have to overthink or overwork myself to understand how I wanted to work. Next, with Uni 2, it's a divide somewhat, but I'm starting with relevance that affected the results the most. So with PC, the details and my thanks here go to Faded Dragon and Noella. I want to thank Noella specifically because the last second Akatsuki matchup training with her, despite the futility of the live results, helped to graft a vastly better picture of a matchup I was given at the jump that I haven't successfully studied or fought that much of to really know what to do at any one time outside the cruising neutral. To a degree, I guess I can mention the PSN chat, but it's not as strong of a contribution because the official PSN chat wasn't helpful for this portion that much. I wish the support from console side wasn't so last second, or people having the PC version but being reluctant to boot up for X amount of reasons. And I just get tired of hearing X amount of reasons when I just need X amount of people. I can play the 1 or 2 guys repeatedly, sure, that's how it goes. But it defeats the purpose of learning matchups if their habits are more visible than the character's movements I should be adapting to in the set. And then I'm just adapting around bad habits and not the better end of the matchup. Like, I'm bad at the Uni 2 game, but I always identify others as bad as I am in different aspects of neutral, commitment, overstaying your welcome, and overstaying their approach. There's probably more I haven't identified yet because I actually still have to put in more time and more hours in order to accumulate a better, well-rounded sense of Under Knight's neutral and formula application. I didn't ask for a laundry list of reasons to just give me 10 minutes of your time for an additional boost to the antisocial or detachment divide in Uni's people presentation on the platform, right? I just sought helpful games for the online pursuit. My problem with PlayStation is just that, okay, people are just using Laundrakia or Hyde or Enkidu or Linnae commonly. I rarely see anything else. I rarely see anyone else on top of that due to people feeling either antisocial to play yet overly opinionated to add to off-putting takes. Or it's people that just come in at either graveyard hours when nobody else is on asking for sets. So, okay, way older fan base for those that have played in the older generation of Uni, or in the older Uni generation or older Uni gaming circle, or those that just turn up when you're in the middle of something else. Suddenly they turn up, but when you turn an eye to the game to want to play and try to find those people, you can't find those people. You just find ABC else, be it a person or a reason. This is including skilled and budding players both. I, however, will accept this state of play. I have only myself to blame for my ill preparation here on Uni 2, and I'm okay with that because I just build up from here in order to correct that, right? I think probably the transition of investing in Uni should probably go to Uni 2 on PC. I think PC on Uni is probably the more efficient way to actually train the goddamn game at this point, because PlayStation's not helping me for shit. But I have to try and give both a chance, because one might feel better, the other one is just more consistent or more involved or more vocal. So I don't know. There's starting to be a little bit more of personal interest in the game, and I have to still play it more to actually understand what that personal interest is, or what's trying to come between logic and common sense and just a base direction for the game investment. Next up is Uni 2. Next up is 2XKO. With 2XKO, I'm seeking to thank Salfontes, Young Tate, and Realm of Degens the most here in helping me understand the journey towards mechanics competency and acceptance to this growing tag fighter. The issue here at the beginning was wanting to accept another game that I didn't like from launch with no incentive or connection anyplace, but refused to be bad at by the standards of the tag game template and ideology and the standards it plays by in which to change that predetermined approach. It's not even that the 2XKO experience was hard anywhere. It's stupid easy even against people with more game sense than I do because of the tag formula blueprint. The incentive to invest daily or almost daily was made hard only because I have nothing to draw me to the game, so I'm always forcing myself to get on and resume playing most of the time when I don't want to. I need to. That's the difference I told myself, and I made it a ritual to apply and abide by. Yeah, I needed to. That's the difference I told myself, and I made it a ritual to abide by. Was I consistent? Not all the time at first, but decently consistent to absorb the game mechanics and buckle down with my characters. I limited myself to about 2 hours more or less every day that I have to be on 2XKO alongside the other games. Because I have to see into casuals to do my daily rewards, to also get used to weird situations. I need to work in a long rank grind in order to learn aggressive matchups and the fundamentals at my level, slowly broadening out and also increasing upwards to levels above me, because there's mashers of every level. It's a hard practice, and with no ties to the League of Legends IP or anybody appeasing here on the roster to really draw in my competitive curiosity or attachments like that of all 8 entries, this was the hardest investment of all of them to be on the ball for. Could it have been better? Absolutely, it could have been. Did I commit all my time to it? Not at first, but once I started to try and play the game more, I kept forcing myself to play 2XKO. And therein, the forcing of a ritual allowed me to accept gradually to play this every day for at least the designated amount of hours in order to just take my mental aneurysm, get my internal screams and whatnot out of the way, because there's no incentive to block on that game in any way, shape, or form. Fight me on it, because there's no incentive to block on that goddamn game. I still stayed to my general limitations of 2 hours. I stayed on it for the catch-up and the matchup game, not really the full-on self-improvement arc game just yet. Do I have to force this? Yes and no. In some ways, I can see that I have to, in other ways I don't. It's a choice. It's a choice at the end of the day. And this was my choice to see a commitment through. It's a choice to be in the game, yeah, but it's also a commitment I have to see through to what I want to have results on for the game. It's not the first time I attempted to commit to something that I hated playing since I started picking it up. Like, the starting point is playing enough to drown out feelings and the added community element points. Like Mortal Kombat X did this once upon a time. DNF Duel did this once upon a time. Mortal Kombat 1 did this once upon a time. You guys already saw my journey there. BB Tag did this once upon a time, and I'm still playing that game unironically. Subtle difference is, okay, BB Tag I stuck to a bit longer than the other ones with one character I liked as my guiding light that I have as a core attachment to the game, so I have a returning value to play the game in order to play her. It was Rachel Alucard. I did the same thing here. It's just there's no characters I like out of all 12, 13 characters at the time. That was what, Caitlyn going into a Collie's patch. That I didn't have anybody here I liked, even including the DLC character at that time. Just characters I'm using while I learn and find what's acceptable about the game for me, right? For Guilty Gear Strive, the main person I want to thank here for Guilty Gear Strive is my Iacon champion Undangin. I'd like to thank so much for helping me to stay on the ball and brushing up on reactions. If not for my combo game, I appreciate having her around. While I won't argue much, this was another of the items I trained for the least. I did at least put in some hours to attempt at the very least to get used to the lay of the land since Strive 2.0 started. Because I haven't played the game since Strive 2.0 began. I barely even played it before, like the week before Strive 2.0 went live. I haven't played it since I hosted my Iacon for it. My goal wasn't really to do well since the whole of the fuel was going into 2XKO and Dragon Ball Fighters more than anything else. But it was to still put up numbers or put up presentation for a good fight for myself. Could have been better? Absolutely. Did I commit any or all of my time to it? No, I didn't. Do I have to force this for Guilty Gear Strive this year? No. If I had forced myself to do it, I probably wouldn't have even gotten any results. Well, I mean, I didn't get any results at all, honestly. But I probably would have gotten even less results because I have to spend too much time having my time divided between 2 and 3 different games in order to try and get general results for 7, 8 different games. That's not mentally compatible to shift focus that many times, especially with the shit that goes on in my background in order to systemically do so. This whole run was made in the attempt of seeing through the commitment to reach the level of me, be valued, and reach a sense of self-understanding. Maybe even try to find a new sponsor, since talent scouts will be present. They were present at the time. And to set myself up for a new lease of opportunity in life, balancing the effort to compete at what I sought, but failing in the effort to succeed at what I sought. Only bringing back one of the 8 pending finalist tickets, I'm not going to despair. I'm going to unwind first. I'm going to return to the shadows to recharge and do my RPGs for a little bit. I'll use this as the launder, I'll use this as the launcher in order to go beyond. Huh?
Why are you awake?
What do you mean?
5 o'clock.
Because I come out during the daytime.
Come out during the daytime now? I thought you came out during the nighttime.
I can be a daytime person too. I mean, I'm not a vampire.
Vampire to me.
What makes me a vampire, Spaz?
Because I only interact with you during that nighttime.
Okay, fair point. Fair point.
Hello, master.
It's okay, man. I'm just, you can sit and chill for right now. I'm just sitting here and wrapping up the rest of my speech here for the PrideFGC run.
Okay, Dad.
So, check mark. In only bringing back one of the 8 pending finalist tickets, I won't despair. I'm gonna unwind first. I'm gonna return to the shadows in order to recharge and then do my RPGs for a little bit. I already have a couple lined up. A few of my friends and a couple of their kids have suggested a couple of RPGs that I put on the books for a good handful of months, and so I'm gonna take them up on their offer in order to sit, chill, and we're gonna have some community streams together in order to catch up on lost time. that I didn't have since, well, since my mom's physical therapy, and since I also decided to take up doing the personal training on the 4 different fronts here between 2XKO, fighters, Tekken, and Melty. Just 2XKO, Tekken, fighters. And so, hey, Pat, welcome in. And so I do got to catch up on at least 4 or 5 months of lost time. So there's a good chunk of RPGs that I want to delve into. So, to close out, I did still fail you guys, and it now adds to the vision of supporters and hecklers or critics watching every move I make. However, I did not fail myself. The key to the background stress has been to prioritize and lock in what's in front of me. Less stress to obstruct focus, better management of my focus. And I'm the only one that can care about the goals I seek in achieving greatness. So I pick something, I respect the commitment, and I try to respect myself for doing it. And I focus that anger of the people's disappointment either in the game or in me or in the regret at others knowingly. That anger and frustration I channel into my rush down and lock in antics. That way I use the anger as a source of something constructive. I can't say it's something positive, but I use it for something constructive. So shit that has to deal with Iacon in the background, instead of beating myself up or abusing my vent chat, I try to just use that as aggressive means in my play style. While I know that this is going to be difficult, and I know I'm going to be hard on myself anyways because it just happens, I'm working on that every day in order to be less endearing and judgmental on myself. It's hard to not be my own worst critic and still understand that I can't do everything despite still doing it. And again, focusing that anger of people's disappointment in the constructive sense. It doesn't hurt me, it's just that it makes me constantly drained and sometimes detached. And it's not anything that you guys do out there that are in the support thing. It's something that I do in a way kind of do to myself. Passing the mirror test is its own trial to not stave off in mental growth. The mirror is my friend, but I've always treated it like it's an enemy because of not knowing what others see. It's just knowing how I feel or that achievement that has always changed to scorn when others insist on like narcissism perspective or oblivious attention or inattention to derail the sense of humanity that's not so selfish. I have my own mental battles to overcome too, between forced contentment and settling when I don't really want to settle, or accepting more misunderstandings from people oblivious to my movements and the self-worth of myself that I feel versus what no one really needs to tell me. It's something that I also have to tell myself and always assure myself of what I am and what I want to do. It's always one step at a time. From the unforeseen imbalances. Again, I've made peace with being misunderstood. After this weekend, the steps going forward don't seem as hard as the ones past. This returning break will help me to kind of get away from competition and try to detox from having to sort interactions with people from the constant service, butting in with my private time or divided time training. I can't juggle it all, but would still have to force myself to because, again, I'm the only one that has to help myself. It adds to the stress in the background. And I'll try to also help with those by just putting out an ad and seeing if anybody else wants to help some more. Amidst my break time playing RPGs, I already have a few lined up. I'm going to try and see if I can play some Persona 4 Golden before the new Persona game comes out. I want to try and see if I can do a speed run through a couple of the Kingdom Hearts games. I want to play some Nier Automata. And I need to finish my Star Ocean Let's Play. So trust me, I got some work ahead of me just doing that. Amidst my break time, I already know that the fleeting and the scattered opportunity to compete on stuff like fighters and uni will be floating around, and I don't want to miss that per se. So I will have to kind of pick my battles while learning new ammo for the future battles ahead. So considering I have all that shit in the background I have to juggle, I think it's probably just best to put put my differences aside about playing top tiers. Just play top tiers. Just do what I gotta do. Handle the business. If people feel like I'm carried or whatnot, that's cool. Fuck them. I gotta do what I need to do. I kind of hate that I do still want to keep investing in these things, but I do need to. It's reflective of the times where like the landscape is about to shift again for Marvel Tokon and Avatar Legends. No, I'm not light skins, Paz. As much as I do wish to sit down for this next chapter when those games come in here, I also do in a sense have to keep going. Because eventually, events will logically dip for a bit before they restabilize again. So, again, picking my battles. So, we secured the top 10 donation leaderboards. That's a W in its own right. We got the top 2 contest on PrideFGC. Missed out on my championship, but that's okay. I didn't get any of the top prizes or the titles itself, but I became the kind of player that can fight for one and can contest many others vaguely. Kinda low-key secures my whole jack of all trades aesthetic that I kind of marketed myself as through the years when I first started branching off into various games to build more of my fighting game and tag template ideology from my Dragon Ball FighterZ resume. So I mean, it kind of pans out unironically. On that notion, let's roll out, guys. Onward to the next opportunity we will embark for. Oh, yeah, let's take a break. But anyway, guys, that will conclude my speech here for the PrideFGC things. And so I have this ticket to show for it.
Oh, she's back.
And then I have this one. They discontinued doing Mortal Kombat that for the event, but for the side events that someone else had hosted that was adjacent to them, I went on ahead and I played for Poseidon, and I was able to get my first top 8 at Shirai Ryu. This is like my first top 8 in like 3.5 years that I was able to get at Mortal Kombat 11, and I was really, really happy about this one. It wasn't a part of the ones that I accredited, but because it happened literally around the same time that weekend, I also chalk it all up in here too into the same accolades in the story that I want to tell. Plus, it's right here in my Icon Hall of Fame. So if anybody here or any of my followers want to take a look at any of my achievements and shit, you can literally just look in the Hall of Fame. Because I try and just make sure I can be the proper example that I want to set for my champions. So anybody can literally be a winner. All right, but if you guys out there, do you guys have any other questions or comments or concerns? Let me know. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to unwind and end stream, and actually take my own advice and get ready to go do some Star Ocean. And just like a couple of my other things through my Fortnite adventures, I will literally make a whole skit for Sora and the adventure, the Kingdom Adventures or some whatever it is. I'll think of something more.
Rodimus, is that a freezer behind you?
Oh, yes.
So you just got snacks in there.
I wish. No, there's a lot of just frozen stuff in there. It's basically just waffles or pizza or Moss popsicles sometimes. Frozen vegetables. That's about it so far that I can think of.
Dang, so I'm not in there. No snacks.
What would you have that's in there? It's a freezer. It was big.
Said you got no snacks in there. Started listening. What was in there? I said, so I'm not in there, bro.
Snacks? No, there's no. Why? You're not a snack to be in there. What? No, the only snack that's in there is probably popsicles. All right, but chat, if there isn't any other questions, comments, or concerns, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to send the raid to somebody here. Shay's not live. Okay, so let me. Damn. All right, let me go raid Cloud. And I'm gonna send you guys on over to Cloud 805 for the night. Those that came in and spectated from Imora Nightmare, Pat Neko, Jujitsu Otter, Student, Silence, Realms. I appreciate you guys coming in and sitting and lurking. Oh, and Rook, same. Issei, thank you. I appreciate you guys coming in and listening to my patch of the community and just giving thanks for your guys' input towards me getting all these contests and your input and your support. And I'm gonna continue to work to try and get more of these and pick up on lost ground here this year in order to reclaim what I didn't get this year next year. So to think by. So we're going to go ahead and send us on over to Cloud FGC. Damn it. Cloud 805. Brain is getting fucking cooked. Huh. Oh, hey Dragon, what's going on? Welcome in. Yeah. We got the cam on here for the speech today. Hey Noah, welcome in. I'm getting ready to head on over to console in a little bit if you guys want to rendezvous for something. All right, chat. You guys take care until all are one.